I'm happy to announce we will be bringing natural gas to McKinley.
I can't believe this is right outside the city. It looks like Kentucky.
2 hours outside any city looks like Kentucky. Are you the owner of this place?
No.
Well, how come you're doing all the work?
You sign this lease, it gives us the right to drill on your land.
A whole lot of money down there.
That is true.
How much you think?
There's no reason your town shouldn't have a state-of-the-art high school.
What kind of money are you talking about? You could be a millionaire.
Promised Land. They should have promised some entertainment in this movie. I know. I'm taking that's a cheap shot. I know.
Hello, I'm
Film of the year.
I'm Matt Damon, and I'm here to talk to you about something very serious that concerns me and many other liberals in Hollywood, and maybe you'll get some entertainment out of it, and maybe we'll just lecture to you for an hour and a half. I guess it kind of depends on how you look at it.
It did feel like a lecture. Yes.
Did it?
Right.
Did it really? And the
Sorta.
reason why I probably did, Matt Damon and Frances McDormand, they play two corporate people named Steve and Sue. They're going into a small old backwards ass country town.
A dying country town.
Yeah, it's a town that's really been hit by the economy. Mm-hmm. And they say, hey, look, let us come in here. We're gonna do this thing called fracking. They say, what you gonna do with my wife? No, she's like, no, man. We're gonna come in. The means of finding natural gas is fracking. And if you let us do it in your area, you and a bunch of other people around here stand to at least make a lot of money, if not be rich.
And who doesn't like money?
Who doesn't like money?
They missed such a great chance here. They could have gone and had them try and set up a small town made entirely of geeks, and then they all think they're talking about Battlestar Galactica, and it would have been funny as hell. But
God
no.
damn you!
No.
Why'd y'all stop it?
I don't know. Hey, the magic of editing. Lee.
But that would have been better and
throw a
funnier
drill
than
in?
anything that actually happened in this movie.
Well, I don't know, because the conflict comes when a school teacher played by Hal Holbrook, he's like, look, you ain't gonna buy my ass. I'm old, all right. I'm old, and I know everything.
I fought that crate monster in Creep Show. That's how awesome I am.
I fought a damn monster from in a crate. Yeah, I ain't scared of your ass, Matt Damon.
And tell it to call you Billy.
Yeah. He said, listen, hey, man, come on, maybe these other backwoods country ass fucks around here don't have the internet, but I do. And I looked up this whole thing, and fracking has been known to contaminate the water in certain areas that you guys have gone to.
Yeah, not just contaminate, but when you put it out of your sink, you can hold a lighter up to it and it catches on fire. That is for real.
Hey, and Matt Damon
badass
goes
shit.
yeah, but look at all this money.
And that's what he does. He kind of now the teacher. He's got some people on his side. He stands up. He gets some people stand up with him. He's like, look at this. We grassroots now. Come at me. But Matt Damon, he's kind of smooth. And his bosses are saying, you better get that shit straight or don't come back at all. And he's like, all right, I got this. He just about has it until the pesky environmentalist comes into town.
God damn it.
Played by John Krasinski.
From The Office.
And thwarts his every move.
More likable than he is.
That's the
More
thing.
slick than he is.
Not only does this guy have the information that hits the right buttons with these people, but he's charming.
He is charming.
He goes in. He can sing karaoke. He's handsome. He's getting the best looking girl in town. So Matt
He's
Damon,
making that girl wet, making the town wet. The guy he has it all.
And Matt Damon sits back there and says, "Oh, I hate environmentalists."
He's there with his flannel shirt that he just picked up at the goddamn stop and go goddamn gas station, trying to fit in. You're doing it wrong, man.
You know what? I agree. I believe there's two ways of looking at this movie. The movie's, if nothing else, it's guilty of being very transparent with this message.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
if you're looking at the movie for that reason, that movie is knocking the shit out of you with that message.
It's manipulative to the point that if you're thinking about things in those terms, it's gonna irritate.
Yeah. Or you could look at it the other way and just say, the whole environmental thing is just kind of a backdrop for the
character piece.
I won't say straight out comedy, but for the humorous story that accompanies.
I guess I'm the odd man out this time because I saw it more that way, where I was like, from the trailer, I'm like, okay, I see what kind of story this is. I'm not really looking forward to being lectured, but whatever. But I found the chemistry between Matt Damon and Frances McDormand. The dialogue was funny enough that I was like, you know what? I'm actually kind of digging this. I like that it's a simple story, but they have such great banter. I see so many movies where I go like, this is what's missing from your movie. I mean, you might be telling a straightforward tale, but you don't have this, and this is what's keeping me interested and what normally I would have tuned out to.
I'm right there with you. I mean,
I was like really.
I honestly,
digging it.
yeah, I'm glad you said that because I remember when we all walked out. It seemed like I thought all you guys hated it, but I was like, there's a part of me that was like, well, I didn't hate it, but I was actually impressed with a lot of the dialogue, and just reading it up, I noticed that Matt Damon co-wrote this.
Sure,
and it felt like that because when he gets into it with the rival guy in the town, I mean that's when the magic happens for me. Just seeing him get like pissed off that he could tell that this guy is winning this town over so goddamn easily. Yet there's a part of him that's still trying to like fight because he honestly believes in this product he's selling.
I grew up in a large farming community. Football Fridays, tractor pulls, cow tipping, all of it. And I'm one of 2 guys in my graduating class who went to college and studied something other than agriculture. It's the biggest fight my grandfather and I ever had.
Just a pride, I guess.
No. It's delusional self-mythology. It's bullshit. We had a Caterpillar plant down in Davenport a few miles away. They closed that down my junior year. I didn't think anything of it. By the time my senior prom rolled around, I got to see firsthand just how little legs we had to stand on. I mean, the whole farming town fantasy, it just shattered. The truth was, without the plant, without the industry, we had nothing. I'm not selling him natural gas. I'm selling him the only way they have to get back.
Yet he had some guy just
I wouldn't even say he believes. I wouldn't say he believes it. I mean, he knows good and well what he's doing.
Well, no. He totally believes it because he says,
does.
I came from one of these shithole towns, and let me tell you something. This whole dream about the promised land and we're gonna be farmers. Fuck that.
Yeah.
You're talking about John Krasinski.
I'm talking about Matt Damon.
No, Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Right.
By the way, people, I didn't see this movie. No, I did. I was there. I'm joking. Yes, I did.
And honestly, it's funny because as much as the movie is beating us over the head with the whole environmental message, like, hey, don't sell out your birthright to these people. They're evil. I was like, you know what? The point that Matt Damon brings up early on of how, like, look, this town doesn't get money. It's going to just wither to shit.
Yeah.
That stuck with me more than anything else.
It's going to die anyway. Yeah. And because
like,
you
hey,
see it. You see it. It's
listen.
like, look, you have no options. I'm at least bringing something to the table because what do you got? Sure, you want to save the environment, but you guys are going to have to move at some point.
I thought ultimately it was the crux of the film, that doing that with Matt Damon's character where you're like, okay, well, there is some ambiguity here. There is some like, well, what are we supposed to get? It's going to die either way, that I felt never played out satisfactorily to me. It felt like that was just kind of brought up as an afterthought so that Matt Damon can eventually be like not a bad guy, basically. And it just didn't sell to me that it didn't sell to me the whole thing like Corey brought up, the whole, well, he must know what he was doing, right? Well, you would think, since you imagine this guy who's obviously very intelligent had at least glanced at the internet at some point and followed up on some reference points to reputable sources like the New York Times and stuff and said, wow, there's actually something to this. But he goes into it like a babe in the fucking woods.
No, I bought that because he is so very much the company man. He's that young guy, that young exec who's moving up. They're blowing sunshine up his ass and everything the company's saying like, oh, don't listen to this. Look, we have our own scientists who are showing you these things. Look, you're going to deny this and there's a big raise for you. And hey man, you're our golden boy. We love you. So he's been given all this stuff to not want to look into those things, or at least not take them seriously.
Because his intentions are good, and the thing is that he like we've said, he's seen what happens to towns that don't move forward with an idea like this to help them raise money, and he doesn't want that. He is genuinely concerned about the people living in the town, and I think he plays that off really well. But like I said, the part that I really enjoyed was the fact that, it's something much more than that too. It's his character. It's his personality. Like the idea of being defeated. Was something he feels so passionate about. And that's what won me over with the film.
Well, I think if there's anything, cause I'm kind of all over the place with the movie. I agree with everybody to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's what the movie gets by on. It gets by on the characters. I can place this message that it has, if you can even call it a message. I still don't know what the movie was trying to do, but whatever it was trying to do, it won me over with the characters. I really enjoyed Matt Damon and Frances McDormand together. Their lines, none of that seemed like it was written when they were together. They seemed like they actually had natural conversations with each other. But all the characters in the movie are kind of that way to me. At least all the major characters, Frances McDormand and Matt Damon,
Rosemary DeWitt,
Hal Holbrook.
Oh, that's a great scene when he stands up.
Oh, when he challenges Matt Damon. I mean, just to see this is the guy you want to root for. I mean, even if it is again the message of corporate and anti-environment people, he delivers that message good. Yeah. You want to actually kind of cheer for him until it kind of goes off on a hokey level.
Well,
but then when John Krasinski comes in, that's when I really had fun because it turns into a Bugs Bunny Daffy Duck cartoon. Mm-hmm. No, Matt Damon turns into Daffy Duck. He's just pissed through the whole thing. He thought he had something good. And here comes John Krasinski being Bugs Bunny. Yeah. and is just fucking with him through the whole movie.
And it's Daffy being pissed off, pissed off to every extent. Every time when they're hanging out in a bar and you see Matt Damon walking and he knows that dude hanging out there talking to his woman and going, fuck!
And that's the thing. They've been fighting over the same woman. Yeah. Now, all that being said, this script, it's a hack script from the 80s. I mean, to be written by Matt Damon and directed by Gus Van Sant, this is not Good Will Hunting by any stretch at all. This is almost like Doc Hollywood. This is the movie where you got the guy who comes in, learns a lesson. Does he get the girl or not? Probably so. And he's a better person by the end of it. And he's come to terms with not only these people, but he might even stay behind with these people that we saw as Hicks before. It's to
Corey,
me. Yes, sir.
I agree with you.
I was like to say, damn, man, now come on.
It is one of those things where, I mean, I was liking that it took a hack script and gave me characters that were fun. Yeah. It was like, wow, you're making me like this even though I shouldn't. But it did seem like, all right, when they got toward the end, they were like, all right, now we got to do something to shake it up. Oh, and they made the worst move possible.
No, it turns out like a TV,
the dumbest plot twist. Yeah. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You're not really going to do that.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it might as well have been a Bugs Bunny cartoon because it was that bad. But I will say it impresses me what people can do with even hack material like this when they attempt to take it seriously.
Well, that's the thing is the punch up, the dialogue, the way it's written is pretty good. It's like you've got great actors working together who have got a terrific amount of chemistry together. Gus Van Sant knows how to film actors together when he's doing that and not crawling up his own asshole. Movies like Elephant.
He got lost. He got lost in his own asshole for a long time.
He's still looking for his way out.
Let me win.
Let me leave the show.
He's like, Matt, help me, dude, please.
Those scenes, they are fun at points, but the thing is the plotting is pretty stupid and it's so obvious. And yeah, I mean, I agree with the film's political message and I agree it's aimed at the people who probably need to hear it the most. These sort of small town folks who are like, keep getting their towns destroyed by fracking. But regardless of any of that, it's irritatingly poorly written, plotted in that sense. And like you said, that third act thing, I don't know. It's like, if you're gonna make a comedy, just make a fucking comedy. I kept waiting, like, after, like, what's his name comes in, John, Krasinski. It's like, oh, he's too badass for me. We got to hit the DEFCON 5 button, calling to Aaron Eckhart from Thank You for Smoking. Set this bitch down.
That actually would have been a really good plot.
What was the actress's name in this?
Rosemary DeWitt.
She's actually really good.
Yeah,
she's very good in this.
She's having a good year.
I really did have some great. I got some great laughs from this. I enjoyed watching the rivalry that they had going on between Matt Damon and John Krasinski, who also co-wrote this.
Yeah.
But there's also a level of frustration there because with so many talented people doing so many good things in this movie, it's hard to forgive some of the mediocre to just dumb things they did with it. And I mean, it really does come out to being a movie where I'm more satisfied watching this at home on video. I mean, it is almost the definition of a movie like this that works for me on video. That's why I would give this a high rental.
Yeah, I guess it's funny because this is another movie I had to watch in stages where I saw the first half in the theater and the second half at home.
That's right. You disappeared.
Yeah, I just had something I had to do.
I know. I understand.
And it was one of these things where, like, at the point I left, I was like,
he's not Batman. He's not Batman. No, I don't know why you would think that.
I mean, no. Yeah, you're right. I'm not.
That's ridiculous.
I don't know whether to take credit or not.
It's too short to be a stormtrooper.
But at the point where I left, I was like, damn, I'm really loving this so much. Mm-hmm. I hate that I gotta leave. So then I started at home and get up to digging it. And it's like everything that came after, I was like, well, I'm liking this less, but it's still okay until the big twist at the end. And it's just one of those, like, you hate for a ending to ruin a movie, but this is one of those that comes so close to being such a betrayal. But it is so enjoyable up to that point. Man, I want to give it a low matinee, but you really made a good point by what you just said.
Ah, yes. Join me.
Don't gloat.
Damn,
Don't fucking gloat.
You're just giving him more power, Leon.
No.
What will you fucking learn?
No.
I gotta have another talk with you.
No.
God damn it.
No.
The
Join
secret
me,
is,
brother.
even when he's right, you have to find a way to make it sound like you don't agree with them.
Hey, man.
Even when he's right, he's still wrong. God damn it.
There's a place for you right here.
Shut up.
Come on in, man.
Join me and we will rule Spill.com together.
Yeah, you'll rule spill.com. And doesn't that sound like a lot of fun?
Hey, don't listen to them, Leon. Hey,
Then
jump.
again,
Come
maybe
on
it's
in,
a full
man.
price. I don't know.
The water's fine, man. Come on in. Did you just give it a rating?
No.
Okay.
Who?
Randolph. Okay, Cyrus? No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Is this rating just going to be a question?
Honestly, you know what? As much as, even though that ending was just such a, I did enjoy it so much before that. I'm gonna say a low matinee.
You just do that to spite me.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I could never really grab onto what this film was trying to do. It would have sequences that I'd like, especially with Matt Damon and what's her face?
Frances McDormand.
Yeah, the girl chick from Fargo, as I like to call her.
That's what I call it.
Yeah,
I don't remember her from anything else. Besides Darkman.
Right, Jesus. It's from now on I'll call her the chick from Darkman.
Yeah.
I thought some of those moments were nice, and they're both really good performers, but the plot, like I said, it was just so unwieldy and awkward, and the way it moved ahead was so clunky. I just never really could get into it. I just found myself rolling my eyes more than anything as I was watching this. I mean, even when it would like lose me totally and then it would win me back a little bit, but then it would lose me again. But then that fucking third act twist was just like, you can't, oh my God. I mean, talk about being irritated at manipulation. That was like just the final straw of just like, man, you guys are just going to piss off more people than you're going to win over with this. These kind of cheap tricks. I don't know, man. I really couldn't get into it overall, but there's certainly enough good here to recommend as a rental, but that's as far as I can go.
Yeah, you're right, Cyrus. I give it a high rental.
Oh, come on now. Don't do that. You're pulling a Corey now. You're becoming more and more like him.
Just take your hand and slap him in the face right now.
You suck his tit already? God damn it.
Very good.
I'm kidding.
No, you're
Very
not.
good, my
Drink
kidding.
that
I'm
sweet
kidding.
Corey
Very good,
milk
my battle line.
you love so much.
No. It's still low matinee for me.
So it's matinee now, huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
He don't know what it is. He's just confused.
He's
He's going to name everything.
He's got blood coming out of his ears right now. He's so confused.
Having a
It's
coronary.
like the state of Florida right now. You can't make a goddamn decision.
And there's still a few hanging chads.
We still got chances. Oh man. Well, I mean, that's the thing that did win me over was the dialogue, between Matt Damon and
Look, he's even checking his
the
phone.
office dude.
John Krasinski.
Now IMDb is fucking with me and gets rid of his name. Really?
Just ask us. Whose name are you looking for?
The dude
John
from
Krasinski.
John Krasinski.
God damn, why you looking on the phone?
John-
We're right here. And not only that, but we said his name about 10 fucking times.
But the thing is that
And you're a robot.
The thing is that IMDb.
No Polish guys in Hollywood.
IMDb got rid of his goddamn name to fuck with
Right,
me.
yeah.
He's not there.
It's IMDb's
I
fault.
think your spelling got rid of his name.
Look,
Ironically,
John,
he had to check.
Matt Kay, look, God. John Kay and fucking Matt Damon did a great job together. That writing there, the parts where they were talking shit to each other reminded me of the fun parts of Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
But that's about it. That's where it ends. But you're right. That goddamn ending became a goddamn after college special. Where you just like, really, you phoning that shit in? I fucking Cyrus could have wrote that shit. Wouldn't have been as good, but it would have been the same.
It's been full of puns.
Yeah, all the puns in the world. But and it's too bad because with movies like this, I do like the fact that they usually with films like this. It's usually the townspeople who have more characters than the actual, the main players. I like that they brought in that fucking kid.
Lucas Black?
Lucas Black. It's like, we gotta find somebody who's dumb and
I like the way he's almost 40 years old. You talking about that kid.
You still think of him as that kid from Sling
Yeah,
Blade.
you do.
Only
You
he
do.
still
Looks
talks
like
the same way.
He's like, oh,
He's
boy.
still working.
Yeah, he's still working doing that. Oh, boy, you gonna give me money if I sign this piece of paper? Really? I can't wait. Oh, you gonna make us rich. I'm gonna go buy me a car. Yeah, oh, boy, I'm gonna finally live with my Fast and Furious dream.
Yeah, he's
Tokyo Drift Part 2. Here I come.
Black is always bad. He's still working, man.
He's still working. Look at, hey, dude, Tokyo Drift. It's gonna happen. Part 2. Electric Boogaloo. But man, yeah, I mean, I do have to agree with you, Corey, that yeah, it is a rental. It is not
somebody talking sense.
It is not a matinee. I'm sorry, Leon.
Wait a minute. No, Leon, no change.
Yes.
You set me up, you son
That's
of a bitch.
right. Oh boy, taste my tit milk.
We're a $9 billion company. Do you know what we're capable of? Do you?